Hello, good evening, everyone. How you all doing? Right, can you hear me okay? Just put in the comments if you can hear me. I've put the thing in the wrong ear. It's probably not a good start. Right, can you hear me now? Just put Lawrence as a dodgy haircut if you can hear me. That's what I'd love to see. But yeah, we're good. Awesome. Right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing beautifully well this Friday evening. And this is something I think we're going to do every Friday now because I think it's something worth talking about. 6 o'clock on a Friday. Everyone's chilling. Yeah, Lawrence a dodgy haircut. Beady, there we go. But yeah, look, Friday evening. It's relaxing. If you've seen Friday Night Dinner, you have no idea how close I was to naming that this. I'd love if this gets 100 likes, I'm calling this show Friday Night Dinner from now on. I'll have my dinner. I'll chat to you lot. And yeah, we can speak about anything. To be honest, it's a bit like going to be a live Q&A. Speak about the game tomorrow. Speak about obviously anything else you want to talk about with Chelsea. Go through the week one more time, and yeah, just speak about some of the ideas we have. If you have anything you really want to ask, make sure you do it in those highlighted things. Send us a question through a highlight. And yeah, all the money that comes from those highlights, by the way, it gets reinvested straight back into the channel. So any money that you guys can give us to help us out, we'd really appreciate it. One thing that I want to stress is, at the minute we feel like our content hasn't been as strong as it could have been, and we want to invest. We want to really push it a bit more, and any help that you guys can give us, we really appreciate it. I don't want to do it. I don't like sound feels like I'm begging. I don't mean to. But yeah, we'd really appreciate all the help that you can give us. And at the minute, there's some things we're looking to get in a studio at last. We're looking at obviously starting that podcast as well. So as soon as all the revenues ticking in and all that kind of type of stuff, when YouTube decide to pay us, we can start looking at it and basically turn around and go, right, let's invest, let's go somewhere. But yeah, let's start. Obviously, we're playing Manchester City this weekend. Like many Chelsea fans, I've already written it off. However, I do want to talk about Sarri in the press conference today. I want to speak about what he said, about not beating Guardiola, laughing about it, how we all feel about that, and yeah, it's one of those. But let's go through a question. Start from the top. Jason McLean saying you will lose tomorrow. Just need a good performance, and that was the first thing I saw while we were waiting for this, and I completely agree. Look, tomorrow if we lose, if you know and watch the channel, I am a very competitive man. I like to compete. It's what I do. If we play a Monopoly and I lose, I flip the board. I'm that type of guy. I like to win. And it's hard to admit when you feel like you're going to lose. And I've never really felt this way. And I've been so convinced. I think the only last time I was Munich, where I was convinced we were going to get absolutely battered. But I feel that we were, in this game here, we're not the favourites. There's no doubt about that. We are definitely going to be playing second fiddle to City in every single position. I think they've got the best squad in the league without a shadow of doubt. For me, when people say Man United they have the best goalkeeper, De Gea's not been playing that well this season. Edison's extremely underrated, in my opinion. I think he's probably up there as one of the best. For me, it's between him and Kepa. Any Irish fan that tries to weigh in with Leno, just sit down, shut up, and fuck off. But it's kind of one of those that we need to really work hard tomorrow. And I know I sound like Antonio Conte. I know a lot of people hate that, the whole mentality of suffer ball and all that type of stuff. But no, this is a game where we're going to have to work hard tomorrow. And what I want to say is, if we put in a good performance and we look like we want it, last time we played Manchester City at their place, we didn't want it, and that's what made everyone so angry. It was a 1-0 battering, as it were, and those don't happen very often. And I feel that if we put in a decent performance, if we really show what we're capable of, then brilliant. I think against a lot bigger teams this season, we just about did it against Arsenal. We drew at Man United and we drew at Liverpool. So we aren't the best out there right now. And yeah, it's one of those where we really, really need to push it and just show what we're capable of, and just show up basically. I think for me, I think it just doesn't show as much confidence. If you follow me on Twitter, you're seeing that I shared the interview piece from Maurizio Sarri when he was saying, when someone asked him how do you beat Guardiola, he said, "I've never beaten him. I have to ask somebody else." I spoke to my dad about it. Obviously, my dad's been going to Chelsea for 42 years. You know, he's seen us when we were shit and all that type of stuff. And he's the kind of man I like to bounce my mentality off of. And obviously, he is in the same boat as everyone. You know, we're not here just to see beautiful football. We're not going to pull coattails and say and pretend to be Arsenal for the past 10 years. So we didn't win a game, but we played beautiful football. This year, you can admit that because it's a development. However, we are seeing shades of other times at Chelsea when, you know, we've been playing great football and it just hasn't been working. I think a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of Sarri out way too quickly. I myself, I'm not Sarri out. I do not want him to leave. I feel I'd like to see him be given an opportunity to build a project. However, 15 years prior to this, we've seen examples of managers and what Chelsea's mentality is with that, and the fact that they don't do that. And to be honest, that is something which we are. You know, we're not great at, and that disappoints me. That annoys me. I feel that Chelsea we definitely should be currently in our situation as well, sticking with one manager. So Roman's got the whole situation with his visa. There's a different political climate. There's Brexit, blah blah blah. All this stuff that's happening. You should not be chopping and changing at this point. And I've already seen with other teams where managers are being given opportunities and longer term deals to develop a project. We've seen it happen at Liverpool. We've seen what happened at City, and we've seen what's happened at Arsenal. You know, these are teams which are developing, and Tottenham, if you're really going to push it as well. You know, these are teams which are all working with managers to develop a style of play, develop a team. Sorry, and I feel we should be doing the same with Sarri. It took him a couple of years to get the best out of Napoli, and right now he doesn't have the tools to play the system he wants to play. I think it's safe to say that, you know, we were talking about Alonso a few days back in Sad Barca's Corner. The lads were, and we speak about him most weeks, saying, you know, he does look like he could be playing in the system. He does look like he work out, but over the past couple of games, he hasn't really pushed himself. He hasn't really worked out in the way that we want him to. And to be honest, I feel that he is he's not great for the system. The only reason that Emerson apparently is starting, according to Manchester Sarri, is that they feel we'd lose something from set pieces if we didn't play Marcos Alonso. And he's not talking free kicks; he's talking height. All well and good, but for the benefit of the team to get a better balance, I disagree. I don't think Emerson is necessarily the answer. It'd be interesting to see what he can do in a Premier League game. I understand a lot of people saying, you know, what does he have to do to start? He has been given an opportunity in the Premier League because, let's be honest, doing it in the Europa League against, I think, in a quote colloquial term, a bunch of farmers, isn't exactly going to prove his worth. He needs to see what he's capable of at a higher level. And I think City won't be the best opportunity. So he's sticking with what he's got. You know, I think David Luiz is another player which is questionable. A lot of people are talking about, is he better good for the system? No, I think Luiz is definitely got too many mistakes in him. You know, tomorrow is going to be a very good, barometer of seeing what he's capable of. Yeah, you know, there's so many other questions around Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, youth players, Christensen. You know, obviously the centre forward debate, something we talk about a lot. But yeah, you know, as Jason says, all I want is a good performance tomorrow, and that's all we can ask for. But let's have a look. What else we got? What other questions? Loftus-Cheek starting a false nine. No, I feel, you know, we need to. If you test that out, you test that out in games where there's not so much on the line. Put it this way: we go into this week saying, look, if you're writing off City, you have to beat Wolves. We haven't beaten Wolves, and we now could lose to City. So that'd be 6-point drops inside a week, and we could be going down to 4th or 5th. You know, this is something which is very difficult. In the current climate in the Premier League, with the 5 teams or 6 teams that can go for a top 4 spot, you need to be on it every single week. If we're writing off this game, you kind of have to just win every single game of Christmas. We have to keep going, and that's going to prove difficult. But I think we'll have to see what will happen with that. I don't think playing Loftus-Cheek and a false 9 tomorrow is the answer. I'd like to see Giroud start, have a bit of physicality up front, link up play with Hazard. Hazard also obviously likes playing with Loftus-Cheek. I'd like to see him maybe, but I do understand if Kovacic starts, Kovacic will start because of his European pedigree and the way that he operates and how much of a physical presence he is and the way he moves the ball. However, tomorrow is going to be a game where you are going to need someone who can drive the ball forward at times. Not 100% certain that, you know, that could be the best thing, driving the ball forward all the time. Maybe bring him on later on in the game when there's more space, when people are more tired. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, if we play a high line like we play against some other teams, we are going to get done. Obviously, even though Aguero's out, I believe De Bruyne is out as well. You know, you still have some fantastic players. Gabriel Jesus to go in that role. You've got David Silva, Gundogan. You've got Bernardo Silva as well. You know, there's some fantastic players. And I think, you know, I don't think testing out there is the best. All American Chelsea podcast. My boy Christian, how you doing, bro? If you don't listen to that, you need to have a little butcher of that. Make sure you do. What we got here? Oh my god! Wow, so many questions. Bloody hell, hello you lot. Wow. It's a question I just saw. I want to find it. Here we go. Massam Actor. Realistic January signings. Fullbacks and strikers, who can we get? Or should we wait till summer? Look, January is always a tough time to sign players. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, people, you know, my saying of this is not FIFA. As much as people butchered Scott for it, I think he put a very, very good option forward in Callum Wilson. I think Callum Wilson's a player which I'd quite like to see at Chelsea. The question you have to see is, will Bournemouth sell him? I think one player from Bournemouth we definitely should be going after is getting Nathan Ake back. Definitely. Just as an option. He obviously can play left back, play him at centre half, play him in central midfield as well. I go back to youth games and stuff like that as well. My friend, if you listen to the Orange segment all those years ago, and he obviously runs Birmingham Fan TV now, James. Sorry, not Jason. What's all that? Sorry, James. James played at Nottingham Forest. You know, he played to a very decent level, and he actually played with Nathan Ake. And the one thing he remembers saying is Nathan Ake's ball distribution and his presence on the pitch was evident from that age as well. The fact that he's still doing it at a high level, obviously, the fact he's moved up, obviously, you have to be from youth systems to play and then to obviously move on to the Premier League. You have to be that top class player. He is definitely someone I consider. He understands the club as well, having been through our youth ranks. He understands what we're capable of. He understands the project. And lo and behold, we have a buyback clause. Apparently, we might still have one on Thorgan Hazard as well. That'd be quite nice as well. Those are two players I'd quite like to see back at Chelsea anyway. In terms of the centre forward spot, as much as I say Callum Wilson, I don't think it's a reliable option. I don't think it's something which we could explore straight away if we were to bring back Nathan Ake. However, I think he'd fit the mould of a player which we could use and then would become a squad player. You know, Giroud's obviously got his contract ending at the end of this season or the end of next season. I think I might have chosen to extend it. But, you know, we've got to really explore in the summer. I definitely go for Callum Wilson in January. It's someone I go for. Marko Arnautovic, maybe if he's fit, would be another one. However, I think you'd have to spend more on Marko Arnautovic, and he's 29 years old, and you know it's a couple of years. And obviously, with Chelsea's policy of players over 30, we're not going to offer him a long-term deal. And if you're going to spend 60, 70 million on a player like that, which is what he will cost, he won't be 50. He's West Ham's star centre forward. You know, it's not going to be worth it, if you know what I mean. I'd rather explore the option of Callum Wilson, who is in a bit of a purple patch, who is in a good form, and has proven it in the Premier League for a couple of years. He's also English, which helps that quota if that thing which FIFA are proposing does come in, and Premier League or whatever. If any of it does come in, I know they've written it off now, but it could be coming in the future. Callum Wilson could be a player to fill that quota. I quite like to see him, but in terms of getting someone which is really going to help this team, definitely wait till the summer. Sarri's still in charge. Touch wood, he is, because I don't want it to just be another one with an open door policy of managers. Because you know the people ask for a better style of football, you're not going to get it overnight. You saw how long it took us. It's going to take time to implement. He needs backing of the board, and I think we need to go and get who he wants. I personally would like to see Icardi. I think that's plausible in the summer. Obviously, I think a lot of people are saying he's not going to go anywhere other than Real Madrid or Barcelona if they come calling. However, let's just see how we finish. You know, being fifth, I don't think we have the pull unless it's a long-term project, which is why, you know, we saw Manchester United sign Paul Pogba under Mourinho in their first season. It was a long-term project that they were able to push onwards. And, you know, it's a case of we need to have that longevity with our managers as well as our players to even show what we're capable of if we want to attract those type of players. We have history. We do have history, as much as many people might like to say it, as although it may be a very short amount currently. our history, or what people may say, Chelsea has that pull because it's London, blah 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 blah. Our history doesn't weigh up to Manchester United, doesn't weigh up to all those types of clubs which have that pull, which is why that's another reason Pogba went back as well. I guess Manchester has a lot of history. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. Next question. When are the rants fan cams from the Wolves coming? They're not, unfortunately. I forgot to we put a tweet out about that. Unfortunately, there is no fan cams because, funny story, if you watch the vlog, basically we filmed the stuff for the fan cams. The sound just wasn't on it, and I wasn't there to kind of maintain order and stuff. Lewis did a very good job though, as did Dom, as did Jack, to even get to that game for the second half. Unfortunately, captains have to go down with the ship, and so me and Scott stayed to make sure the car got fixed. I didn't go to the game, unfortunately, which is why you didn't see me do a review. I left that to the lads, and they were fully capable of doing it. It's a case of we are very, very, very. What's the word? I was gutted, to be honest. I'll put it that way. I wanted to get to that game. Just the result, obviously, part of me was like, oh, thank God I wasn't there for that. The other part of me was sitting there going, do you know what? We were half an hour away in the car and the fucking tyre blew up. It's a joke. So annoying. But it's kind of a case of there won't be any fan cams from the Wolves game. And to be honest, I don't think any of us, Lewis didn't, and the others, we didn't really see enough of it to even have a rant. I've watched back some of the highlights, but even then, still, I don't feel that it's even worth me talking about the game completely. When we barely watched it, and that wouldn't be fair, and it's not good content to pump someone out if you haven't watched the game. I don't think that's fair. But let's have a look. What other comments we got? Is the game a 5:30 kickoff tomorrow? That is a very good question. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. That's not good, is it? I probably should know that. The game is, I believe, a 5:30 kickoff. West Brom Villa tonight in the Championship. Oh, interesting game of football, that. Let's watch that, maybe. We are indeed a 5:30 kickoff against Man City. So, yeah, if you want to watch the game, that's what we'll be. Gabriel Godfrey just want 100% from Chelsea, mate. Or Gabriel, sorry. That's superb. I like that. Good banner. What else is going on? BD, we didn't want it against Spurs, Lou. No, you're right. We didn't. We were shocking against Tottenham. Aguero is out. Europa League next season. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. You can't call it right now. I think it's a case of you have to really see March time. That's when it'll start taking shape, I reckon. SB5, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. What else we got? Wow, there's really not a lot going on here. I need to see what else we got. I'm just praying. Literally, everyone's just saying that they're just wanting us to see what we can do. Yeah, it's not looking good. Did you go to Wolves? Come on, man. No, I didn't. Will 100% Chelsea be in Massachusetts for the game at the Gillette Stadium? Is this pre-season? I don't know about this yet. We haven't checked our pre-season schedule. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to improve, because I need to know. We're too unorganised, and there's something which we need to organise. Obviously, this year is my final year at university, so I'm all over the place in terms of doing loads of stuff. So yeah, it's proving a difficult one. But I mean, is there a game in Massachusetts? What's going on there? 100% Chelsea. Hopefully, we don't give Sarri the sack, as Wenger is lurking in the shadows, looking for a new job. If we sign Wenger, imagine, that'd be horrible. As well, I think Hudson-Odoi should be on the bench. I agree with you, Maisie. I think that's That's definitely something which we should be doing. Any chance of us signing a Cardi? Maybe in the summer. We'll have to see. Should we recall Tammy Abraham? Now, this is something I do want to talk about because I feel that this is definitely a bit of this is one thing which I see often from Chelsea fans, especially on Twitter. We are far too reactionary. I include myself in that sometimes. Fan cams, for example, or straight after a game, that is a reaction. That is what it is. It's instant. So if we lose or we win or whatever, there's different tempos, different mindsets, and that's just the nature of it, unfortunately. However, you see the next day when we speak about stuff and change it up, you see that there's kind of more of a ebb and flow to what we're talking about, and it's a lot more level-headed. However, this has been something which I've been seeing over the past few games with Tammy Abraham, where people are saying he's scoring a lot in the Championship. We should recall him. We should, put him back in the Prem. Do people remember Swansea last year? I'm playing devil's advocate to my own argument here because at some point I would like to see Tammy Abraham in a Chelsea shirt. However, he did nothing at Swansea last year. That's mainly down to potentially the fact he didn't get any service. They were without Gylfi Sigurdsson, and that's pretty much what sent them down. He did do well in 15-16, if you remember correctly. Towards the back end of the season, we saw Bertrand Traore get a lot more minutes, Loftus-Cheek and Tammy Abraham under Gus Hiddink when we weren't really contending for anything. I thought he played well, and he did have but he had better service because he had Fabregas, and for example, we've got Jorginho now, and Fabregas is lurking in the shadows as a second choice. He could get the service and he could improve, and that is definitely something which we should consider. However, I feel he needs another loan spell away at another Premier League club. We've seen what he did, Loftus-Cheek did with Crystal Palace, which is now pivotal. We all see how often he played and how that's helped him develop. And I think the same needs to happen with Tammy Abraham. I think he still needs that stint away. He's not ready, and I don't think it's quite the right. I don't think it's a good idea to just chuck him in. There are some players which I feel are ready, which he should chuck in. I think Hudson-Odoi is definitely a player I'd like to see chucked in at some point. Just give him a run out because I feel he can cut it. He's a very good player. He's the same age as Jadon Sancho. Before Jadon Sancho left to play for Borussia Dortmund, he was, and Hudson-Odoi were like that. They were on the similar level, and they were believed to be the similar type of player. And when you've got Bayern Munich knocking on the door of Hudson-Odoi, Man City, Borussia Dortmund, he's a good player, and you know that he's going to play. So we need to play him. I think maybe loaning him out to a Premier League club where he can get minutes, fine. But we need to keep hold of him, and we need to try and time down to that long-term deal before he leaves. That is something which I feel is incredibly important. What else we got? Louis, what would your realistic City lineup be in City? Okay, what I'd like to see is Kepa, Emerson, Christensen, Rudiger, Dave, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Kante, Pedro, Giroud, Hazard. That's what I'd like to see. But realistically, it's going to be Kepa, Alonso, David Luiz, Rudiger, Dave, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Willian. Would it be Willian? Willian started midweek, so I think it could be Pedro. And then obviously Morata played midweek as well, so I think it could be Giroud and then Hazard. So I think that's probably what the realistic game will be. Do I think the criticism of Willian is unfair? I like Willian. He turns up a lot for us. I mean, Hazard didn't do anything against Wolves and gets us like, right, okay, I'm going to debunk the myth here. This isn't me being one of those people on Twitter who's just saying, Willian shit, he blah, blah, blah. Here's some stats for you. Willian has roughly got about 30 goals, 8 assists in 5 years at Chelsea in the Premier League. He doesn't turn up for us. He moves the ball. He's too indecisive. I don't feel that Willian's a player which definitely offers us a lot, and this is why I like seeing Pedro on that right-hand side. He offers us more. He's more attacking. He tracks back more. He helps the team more. And, it's just a case of he just offers more to the team, in my opinion. 60 million we turned down for Willian. Why? He's been a great servant for the club. There's no doubt about that. But he does a lot of running. But sometimes just running about isn't exactly what you need. If you've got a winger in the final third, or think the bullshit about goal scoring opportunities, I don't care. Just direct goals and assists, those are the stats that matter. That's what you paid the money for. creating the most goal scoring opportunities in the Europa League, which is apparently what he's done. I'm sorry, you kind of expect that from a Chelsea player if they're decent quality, don't you? We're not too good for that competition, but we got that's the team that got us there last year. But it's a case of we are a club which does have Champions League quality players. So why I'm sorry, it's an unnecessary stat. But yeah, Jorginho's a good player, but not a central defensive midfielder for me. Oh, blimey, all this. Here we go. I've lost it all again. Uh, uh, okay, well, I've lost those ones because it's come back to top. Oh, well. Can Kovacic play in a Jorginho role? Potentially. There we go. Right now, we got it. Kovacic playing in the Jorginho role. I think that's kind of why we brought him in long term. It would make more sense. We don't need Callum Wilson. Who do you want up front then, mate? Fuck me. We don't need a centre forward, do we? Sound cool. All right then. What do I think about Aspilicueta at right back? Am I the only one who doesn't like him in that position? I don't think Dave's got the legs to play there anymore. I think he's definitely he's got a long term contract now. He signed it the other day till 2022. If that's the case, then he's going to remain at the club for a long time. However, I don't feel he has the legs to play fullback anymore. One thing we have noticed is in the systems he's played under Benitez. Di Matteo will kind of go over because he only had him for a couple of months. He's played under Benitez. He's played under Mourinho, played under Hiddink, played under Conte, and now he's playing under Sarri. 4 of those managers are very defensive or very dependent on solidity. I mean, Hiddink definitely was because we were dog shit. But it's a case of he just doesn't have the legs to play at fullback anymore. In those systems, he was more defensive. He didn't have to bomb forward as much. One thing we can definitely say is he whips the ball in very well, and we saw that against Spurs. We've seen it in other opportunities where he does move the ball forward very well. However, when it comes to getting back, when he's gone further forward because of his legs, I don't think he can do it. I personally would like to see Aspilicueta move into centre half. And before people say it's too short, let me just go through a few world-class, amazing centre halves who are very, very short. Franz Beckenbauer wasn't the tallest. Fabio Cannavaro wasn't the tallest. Maldini was 6 foot-ish, so yeah, he was all right. Franco Baresi, who apparently was Maldini's mentor, who was probably voted one of the best defenders of all time, wasn't that tall. Me and Scott did some others as well. Those are just examples of players which are really not that tall and played well at centre half. And if he's got Rudiger next to him, look, I don't think we need to worry about height. I think it'd be interesting to play him there. Thank you, Max. Spend the money on Yazai. Alcide Yazai. I would, but legally, I don't think we can. I think when we signed the contract to get Sarri, it meant we couldn't sign any Napoli players for a year. So maybe in the summer. Should we get Batman back? Yes, that's pretty easy. I think I'll definitely do that. Hazard will leave in the summer. Who should replace him? No one's going to replace Eden Hazard. I think that's something we need to debunk straight away. He is a phenomenal player. He's probably one of the best shots we've ever had, and I feel very privileged to be able to go to games and watch him. However, I think Hazard leaving is something which I've personally been prepared for about 3-4 years now. Out of a 6-year stay. I think that 13-14 season after that was the first time I kind of sat there and went, this guy is going to leave. I think that, we are definitely I think it's going to be a case of we spend the money like Tottenham did when they got rid of Bale, except better, if you know what I mean. We'll invest. We'll take those 2 steps back one step back to take 2 steps forward. I think that's something which would make more sense, and I think that's something we're going to have to be prepared for, to be honest. We need to get Bertrand, Ake, and Zuma back. Bertrand is in Ryan Bertrand or Bertrand Traore? Uh, asked a question about Abraham already. We can buy Leon Bailey to replace Hazard. Again, no one's replacing Hazard, but he would be a good person to fill the hole, as it were, on that left-hand side. I agree. Uh, you'd like to see Oscar back? No, I don't either. I do not want to see Oscar back at Chelsea. He was shit. He only had a couple of good games, which is why he stayed here for so long. He's too inconsistent. We gave up Juan Mata, our two-time player of the year, or because Mourinho played him out wide and refused to drop Oscar. Come on, man. Really? Um, Merry Christmas, by the way, actually. I just realised I was having a Christmas. I can't find anything. What else we got? Lozano or Pulisic? Oh, that's a difficult one, you know. Lozano can play left wing and right wing, can't he? But so can Pulisic. Pulisic has done it for longer at a higher level. He's doing it at Dortmund now, but he's struggling. He's not 100% getting in the team. However, he is torn between us and Liverpool have Champions League football in their history, and I think he's leaning more towards Klopp. However, I think he'd start for us, and he'd definitely help us corner a market in terms of finances in the US. So I'd personally go for Pulisic. Giroud is so underrated. Morata loses confidence when he doesn't score goals, which leads to poor link-up play and effort for the team. When Giroud doesn't play well, he still works hard for the team. Yes! This is what I've been saying for months. Giroud is one of the reasons France won the World Cup. Although he didn't score, he laid the ball on for Mbappe and laid the ball on for Griezmann. If people watch that, you'll have seen it. He didn't score, but he did a fucking great job for us. For them. Not us. I'm not French. Can you give a score prediction? No. We're going to get spanked by City. City will press Jorginho like they did in the Community Shield and expose Sarri ball. We only have one way of playing and no adaptability at all. Beats Pox, Trey beats. Yeah, I agree. I think that is something that definitely hinders us. However, it's not going to change overnight. You know, I think it's a case of City have different styles of play. But that's because they learned one and then they developed it, which is what I think we can do. And I think we're fully capable of doing that. It takes time. Look, if we get spanked tomorrow, but we show up, so be it. To be frank, I honestly, I would not. I'm not expecting us to win that game at all. But it's just a case of we just need to show up, and we need to give Sarri time to implement his style of play. It's as simple as that. Once it's implemented, and then we're playing. If this season, okay, we contend for top four, we get it, we play well. And we attract the players of the sum which we need, and the board needs to back Mauricio Sarri on that. There's no doubt about that. He needs backing. Go and get the players he needs. If next season we're playing nice football, we're beating teams, then we've seen the development, then yes, it makes sense. It makes sense to do that. It's a case of we're so reactionary. Football fans are so fickle. We need to understand that if there's an improvement on last season, an improvement on results, then we've got better, and everyone's talking about having a better style of play and getting more results. Blah blah blah. If that all happens at the end of the season, it all adds up. Then fine, yeah. If Sarri's got worse, and we're talking far worse, then yeah, sack him. He's not working. But right now, we're still contending for that top four. We're doing exactly what we need to be doing. January, we may be going out and making some different signings. That's just the nature of the beast. Some people saying change to 4-2-3-1. I agree. I'd like to see Kante next to Jorginho. However, that won't happen. Rob Green. Where are you going to play him? I think we should play Rob Green up at centre forward. He'll do better than Morata, that's for sure. What we got here? Mess me around, but worst of all, my connection isn't the best. I've got 99-bit speed internet. I'm fine. It's your connection. Reece James. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of him this year, but I've heard very good things. I'd like to see him do it a bit further up. Let's see if he can do it in the Prem. If Jorginho is injured, what just Tammy Abraham, even better. Oh dear. Give us serious dough for Danny Rose. You can have the gobshite. Don't need him here. I don't want Danny Rose, to be honest. I'm all right. Thank you very much. Worldwide Chelsea. Hello, Sadiq. Right, for all of you that don't know, I'm not just doing this stream tonight. Also, 9 p.m. Me, Eunice, Sadiq, and Alex Goldberg all going to be doing a stream on Worldwide Chelsea. So make sure you head across to that, hit notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. Another member of the Chelsea YouTube community, which is lovely. So yeah, and Nini, I think is Sadiq. Put a yes if Nini's on it as well. I'm not sure. I think there's 5 of us. So yeah, if you head across 9 p.m, we'll be on there talking about tomorrow's game as well. So that's all well and good. A lot of people saying Sarri out. I think we need to give it time. I want our Croatian lad to score tomorrow. Morata Wilson swapped it. I don't even think Bournemouth would take him, to be fair. Should Mitch come back? Yes. Kante back to his old position? Yes. Are you scared for the City game? All they do is press Jorginho, Sarri ball is void. We've had this discussion. Someone saying they want Morata to start up front. They're just 100% trolling. I'm just steering clear of that. Right. Ian, again, probably a very interesting point in the group chat, as mentioned here by Kieran. I am Robin Confersley buying at the end of the season. Would you take him back at Chelsea for a season? I don't know. What has that guy Robin back? He's doing really well at Bayern, obviously. He plays regularly. He's an half-decent footballer. You can't stop him. Good bit of experience. Definitely someone who could bed in the system a bit more the way with his style of play. For a season, why not? But I don't think Chelsea bring him back. Bring in Pulisic or Malcolm, sell Willian. I tell you what, if we went to Barca and said we'll give you Willian for Malcolm after they were so interested in him in the summer, if they still want him, get it done. I 100% agree with that. That'd be a great one. Right. We're going to go for another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll knock it on the head, ladies and gentlemen, because I feel like we're just going through our stuff. Would you want Abramovich to sell Chelsea? Let's say the richest man to the richest man in the Czech Republic. Depends. I just want someone who actually understands the club if they're gonna buy us. I don't want some rubbish owner. Mr. Abramovich has been nothing but amazing for us. Roman has. So respect to him. So if he wants to sell. Chris Williams, the best signing Chelsea could make would be a technical director. Yes! Been saying this for ages. Yes, we need to sign a technical director. Everyone's banging on about who makes the signings, what's going on here. Sarri's in the role of head coach, not manager. That means he doesn't have say on who we buy. Get someone who understands the club. Get someone who understands football. Michael Ballack was mentioned a few months ago. Belletti was mentioned a few months ago. Bring them back for that role. Let them help and manage the club. Give him the options. We go out and sign the players. We get the job done. Simple as that. It needs to happen. Also, that means having to get rid of Marina because Marina doesn't seem to know what the fuck she's doing. And she's the biggest reason for us to basically be fucking up the whole time. Does Zuma have a future? Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to find what, because this thing basically, because I'm answering the questions and scrolling down as I go. When I scroll to the bottom, obviously the thing basically explodes, and I have to go back and find all the other questions. Right, let's just scroll to the bottom and start from there. Opinion on Kepa. Very good goalkeeper. Very, very, very good goalkeeper. I like him a lot. Opinions on Thorgan Hazard. Yeah, I'll take him. Someone saying we should sign Harry Kane. Come on, mate. It's ain't FIFA. Don't be a twat. Come on. Come on. That's not going to happen. Opinions on Januzaj. Why are we talking about Januzaj? I don't care about Januzaj. You need someone like Nabil Fekir who will fulfill Sarri's centre forward role, as Icardi is not a Sarri player. Look at Mertens. We were after him in the summer, weren't we? And it very nearly happened. Yeah, I think Nabil Fekir would be a decent option, but I'd rather sign Depay from Lyon and play him as a centre forward, maybe. Centre half, I think we're fine. We don't need to sign a centre half right now. We've got solid players. I think we've got Ampadu. I think if Kale goes, you've got Ampadu, you've got Christensen, you've got Louise, you've got Rudiger. Unless you're going to offload one of those four, then yeah. Get rid of them. Yeah, what else we got? Take a few more questions and then we'll call it a night. Luke Tucker, just want to say thank you. Just one of the messages on Instagram. No worries, mate. If you drop me a message on Instagram, I will respond 9 times out of 10. Those people who just put hi, though, I'm not going to respond to them. Ask me any questions and I'll respond. Opinions on the liability of Luiz. David Luiz is about as liable at the back sometimes as Madeleine McCann's parents are for her disappearance. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'd say about David Luiz. Love him though. He's been a fantastic servant for the club, and he loves the club. But yeah, someone saying that's low. Come on, man. Don't. It's 10 years ago. Give it a break. What other ones we got? Last question. Who's the worst striker? Lukaku or Morata? Definitely Morata. Definitely Morata. What is Thomas Callison? He's on loan at Bristol City, I think. Luis should play as a DM. I agree, but he's not going to play there because that's where Jorginho's playing. Danny Drinkwater, the forgotten man. No idea. No idea what has happened to him. All right, last we'll take a couple more. Barkley over Kovacic. No. And Mason Mount and Tamara back in January. No. Let them mature for the rest of the season. That's how I think we should do it anyway. But yeah, I'm not doing score predictions. But the last thing I'll say, talking of left backs, because this is something we spoke about yesterday, is someone's asking me what my opinion is on Ben Chilwell. Yes, please. I would take Ben Chilwell at Chelsea in a heartbeat. I think he's a superb fullback. Great getting forward, great defensively, really solid. What else do you need? But yeah, listen, we're going to knock it off there. Listen, guys, thank you very much for watching the first episode of Friday Night Live. This will be on every single Friday, 6 p.m. I think we're going to aim for maybe 7 o'clock. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video. Make sure you follow my personal socials. I'll leave them down in the description as well. Listen, I'm going to put a poll in there as well. We're going to call it Friday Night Live or Friday Night Dinner. Listen, Friday Night Dinner is just one of the best shows on the planet. it's a cult classic. So if we want to watch, if we want to call it that, let me know. But other than that, guys, listen, make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Back all the social media extensions, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. We're back tomorrow for the game. Obviously, fan cams, reviews, all of that good stuff. And yeah, very excited. Take care of yourselves, guys. Sleep well. Have a fantastic Friday evening or wherever you are, daytime, lunchtime, whatever you're doing. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and thank you for all your ongoing support. Take care, guys, and I'll see you later.